Let's continue. In question 5, I ask you to save some important variables using the SPS save option. Let's save these two new variables. In SPSS, go to Analyze, Classify, then Tree. So we are going to keep the current setting, that means CRT and importance to model and criteria one more time. Custom value 3, parent node, the minimum number of cases is 5, child node, the minimum number is 3, etc. Then let's click on save. Now we are going to save like a predicted segment, and then predicted outcome, like whether they are going to purchase or not. So continue and press OK. You will see the same outcomes here. In the dataset, you will see these two new variables. Again, to understand the meanings of the variables, if you click on variable view, here node ID is terminal node, like predicted terminal node based on the characteristics, income and lot size groups, and predicted value means predicted y variable or y value. That means whether they are going to own or not, something like that. So unlike the previous simple data set, you can see that the actual values of the ownership and predicted values of the ownership are different. So for example, the first 12 observations are owners, but according to our model, non-owner and owner are kind of mixed. But interestingly, the model predict non-owners correctly. And this kind of mixed outcome is common. That means prediction models can predict the outcomes 100% perfectly. So there are some errors like this or misclassification like this. Then going back to our Word file prediction, makeup cross tabulation, or it is called confusion matrix in case of prediction model outcome comparison, using the actual ownership row and predicted value column, or actual ownership versus predicted ownership. And we will do these things, and we need to interpret the cross tabulation, and we will calculate the correct classification ratio and the misclassification ratio. So let's conduct these bullet points first. Let's click on Analyze and then Descriptive Statistics and Crosstabs. We are comparing discrete actual ownership and predicted ownership. So both are, because both are discrete variables, we are going to use crosstab. Let's reset. Again, the row, the actual ownership goes to row, and then predicted value or predicted ownership goes to column. And then let's do like row percentages. Continue, and then OK. Now we have this table, and I'm going to copy and paste this one in the Word document. So we are going to interpret this table. Definitely this is cross tabulation, so we need to interpret them one by one. First, there are 24 consumers, and 12 of them did not own. 12 of them own riding mowers, and among them, so let's focus on non-owners. So again 12, and actually there are 12 non-owners, and according to the prediction model, 12 of them, or 100% of them, were predicted to be non-owners. So that is good for us. And in case of owner, there are 12 owners, and out of actual 12 owners, 4 of them were predicted to be non-owners, which is not correct one. And 8 of them were correctly predicted to be owners, which is good for us. So we interpret the numbers simply out of non-owners, 100% of them correctly predicted, and among the owners, 66% of them correctly predicted to be owners. Now calculate the correct classification ratio. That is, we add this number and this number, that is 12 plus 8 divided by 24, which is about 83%. How about this is correct one with classification ratio, that is 0 and 4. Why? Because actually non-owner, but none of them were predicted to be owner, so the error is 0. In this case, actually owners, but according to the prediction model, 4 of them were predicted to be non-owners, so wrong classification. So 0 plus 4 divided by 24. Which is about 17%. Then the last question regarding prediction, based on the classification table and the correct classification ratio. So I ask you to take a look at the kind of patterns in the table, this table, and the correct classification ratio, like this number. Again, later when you analyze or evaluate the prediction accuracy of a model, do not just rely on the correct classification ratio. You need to kind of understand the pattern here. So overall, I would say it depends, totally depends on your opinion. I would say the correct classification ratio is not that high, but it's okay. But one interesting thing is, this according to this model, I can predict non-owners very well, like this 100%, but I cannot predict owners correctly with the accuracy of 86 only. So overall it is okay, but according to the patterns, I would say this model is for like identifying non-owners with a very low error. But this model is not good for identifying owners. Question 7, conclusions, which would be the most important part. I copy and paste the tree, and after we complete our analysis, decision tree analysis, our main goal is to select or target a segment or segments, and then develop marketing strategies for them. And if you recall, we have 4 terminal nodes, like node 1, node 3, and node 5, and node 6. And according to our analysis, in node 1 and 3, owners are 100%. According to node 5 and 6, only 30, node 3, only 33%, and then the node 6, 0%. Which segment will you mainly target based on the types of consumers below? So you can choose either one, like consumers similar to the current owners or consumers similar to the current non-owners. What does that mean? Let's say if you target consumers who are very similar to the current owners, that means later, maybe next month or next year, you collect information about new customers or potential customers. And if you want to target consumers similar to the current owners, you might want to target or customers who show characteristics of node 1 and 3. That is, income level is high, or even though income level is not high, if lot size is high or large, then they will be more likely to purchase your product. Okay, so if you want to target consumers who are similar to the current owners, you may want to target like a segment 1 and 3, and I already explained that their characteristics or rationales, like the most important rationale is they are very highly likely to purchase products. Then who are they? Their characteristics, income level is high, or lot size is too high. So if they are rich or if their lot is too large, then definitely consumers will purchase, like potential customers. How about the second segment, like potential consumers who are similar to the current non-owners? If you target potential consumers who are similar to the current owners, definitely you can increase your profit, but you will miss the rest of the market. Therefore, you may want to target potential consumers who are similar to the current non-owners. Then definitely this one would not be a good one, because when you characterize, let me write down node number first, like node 5 and 6, because their ownership rate is lower than the total ownership rate, 50%. But what if I target node 5? Their characteristics are their income level is low or middle, and their lot size is also middle. Possibly because their lot size is not that big, many people do not need riding mowers. That could be the reason. But how about 6, node 6 or segment 6? They are kind of poor, and their lot size is also like low or medium. Simply low, actually low only. Simply they are poor and they don't need a riding mower because their lot is so small. So in this case, I will remove this one, node 6, and I will mainly target 5. Rationales, because maybe I can develop a new market. Because there is a kind of potential, because their lot size is not small. There is a kind of need. Then here, marketing strategies. It is totally depend on you, and I'm going to show you some examples only. Let's assume that I target potential consumers who are similar to the current owners. Again, like income level is high or lot size is high. then that means I kind of target the existing market. Therefore, regarding the products, maybe I can develop a product with some modifications or like an improved function. Price-wise, maybe I can increase my price because they are my main target, and because they are rich or because their lot size is too big, they have to purchase my product, so I might increase my price. Place, not many things to say, but maybe I can place my products at Home Depot more, and then make my products available some places so that potential consumers test drive. Promotion, maybe they are going to purchase my product anyway, so maybe I can increase advertisement more so that I can make potential consumers aware of my product, or kind of give them a good impression regarding my product, something like that. If you target potential consumers who are similar to the current non-owners, product-wise, their lot size is middle, so that means they do not need large products. So maybe I can develop a new product, like a small-sized new product. That would be one of my product strategies. Price-wise, I know that they are not rich. Their income level is low or middle, as shown here. So maybe I can provide them some discounts, or I can make like installment program so that they do not feel burdened when they pay a lot of money one time. Place, pretty much similar, or if you think there's no place strategy to be developed, then you can just say NA. Promotion wise, maybe associated with price, you can issue some coupons because again their income levels are not that high, and then you can use like a word of mouth of the current owners, and then the potential customers might purchase my product, something like that. So again, the key point of decision tree is we should be able to interpret the decision tree, and then we should be able to target a certain group of people and develop marketing strategies.